we were gifted something that I'm trying to get set up to see how it's going to work. And we're going to see if Ritzy will, in fact, use it. Come on down, sweetie. Come down the ramp, sweetie. Come on, sweetie. It was a gift. Come on, try to use it. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. Come on. Good girl, Ritzy. Oh, my goodness. It works so wonderful, doesn't it? Hi to hello, friends. Lester here, and today I'm working in the yard. It's day 2 of me working in the yard. And have you ever heard of that game of Minecraft? It's called Minecraft. It's a game that a lot of people are playing. It's a video game. And guys, I'm not off to Jamaica. This is trying to keep the sun out of my face. And I'm trying to protect my skin, so just bear with me. But have you ever heard of that game called Minecraft? In that video game, you're trying to build yourself. You can build pretty much anything. And it's a very popular game, and tons of people are playing it. And sort of in a way, we are also playing Minecraft, but instead of doing it virtually, we're doing it in real life. We're doing real life Minecraft, and I'm going to show you how you're going to be able to help me here in just 1 second. Let the intro play, and then I'll be right back to ask you a question, okay? And let's just not waste our comments on how silly my hat looks. It's doing its purpose of keeping me out of the sun. Do you guys remember a couple of months back, we spent a couple of $1,000s from the Facebook supporter and the YouTube member money and bought ourselves 60 bales of that green alfalfa hay, only to find out that it got me and Ben both sick from the dust. Our horses and donkeys would not touch it. We took it over. Our cows wouldn't eat it. What's crazy is our goats will. And so the goats have eaten it with no problem. So we still have it. And we do feed it to our goats. Which is crazy how goats can do that kind of stuff. Goats can eat things that you just don't know how or why. But we're pretty sure there has to be something wrong, a mold or something in the hay. Bottom line is, we still have a ton of it left. Our goats don't eat that much green hay, especially now that it's getting close to, well, it's spring. There's plenty of green grass. But I do want to show you what I've been having to do. So what I'm doing now, well, first of all, we are not going to use that company ever again. And I told Jamie, I'm even scared to order bulk hay from anybody for a just in case scenario. You know, guys like that don't have a return policy. And it's just a good old boy system. You know a couple of guys that do hay, move hay, and if they bring you bad stuff, they're not going to come back and pick it up. And we've learned that the hard way. So what I do now is I go to the local feed store and I'll buy 6 at a time. And the 6 here will last us, since we only feed a flake a day, these 6 will last us several weeks. The hard part is having to unload it. And that's why I'm going to bring you guys along with me and show you how much fun unloading 6 bales of green hay can be. So this here is the spot where I'm going to stack the pallet of green hay. And let me ask a question, and y'all tell me the honest to God's truth. How many of y'all are like me and just cannot seem to ever get rid of a good pallet? Seriously, how many of y'all are like me and can't seem to ever get rid of a pallet? Guys, I can't tell you how many people I know who just have stacks and stacks of pallets at their place because they can't get rid of them. Yeah, I'm one of those guys. Okay, what I'm going to do is make sure that I have the right attachment. This is our hay spear, but the way they build the hay spears these days, it can kind of serve 2 different purposes. The hay spear here can also serve as a pallet fork. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to take the hay spear / pallet fork and grab that pallet right out of the back of my truck, hay and all. So whenever you want to start a diesel engine on any machinery, well, not so much your truck, but things like tractors, you have to let your glow plugs warm up. I don't know the science behind it. Don't really care. I just know that if you crank it too soon, you're going to end up having engine issues eventually. So I've always heard that you turn on your key, allow your glow plugs to start warming up. That's the little light right there. Oh, and now that it goes off, my tractor is ready to crank. I am not saying it was pretty, but it's done. 6 bales of alfalfa hay moved into the barn, and that's going to help us a whole lot, keeping our horses and alpaca healthy. Okay, next thing we have to do, friends, is I have to unload one of those protein tubs here, and the other will go over to the JL Ranch. So the last thing I was thinking about is the possibility of go ahead and letting grass grow across our rock. You know what we have to do every year, and we usually do it 3 or 4 times a year, is we have to come by with a weed killer, a grass and weed killer, and spray all of our rock to keep that grass from growing up and across there. And it's actually that time of year. But I told Jamie, what if we allowed the grass to go ahead and grow across it? What would it matter? Because the rock are so flattened down, you can already drive over them with the mower and you don't sling rock anywhere. These rocks are not like big rock. And I drive up and down the driveway anyway with the lawnmower. I don't sling any rocks whatsoever. So what are your thoughts on just allowing the grass to completely grow over the rock? It would take some time, especially where the rock is thicker. But if we stop going by and spraying it, and the grass will finally catch on, and it will end up eventually growing across the entire rock. The surface will still be here, y'all. The rock base will still be here, but the surface will be covered with grass. So this here is an example of how that driveway would look if we allow it to be covered up with grass. This over here is a rock base that used to go all the way, well, it still goes all the way down to where the pond, it wraps around the pond. We used to have the spillway, remember? And it would go right on around. What happened was we never kept it manicured as far as with our grass killer, and we allowed grass to grow right over the top of it. And so in a year's time, this is how it looks now. This over here, it has no grass because the horses and donkeys lay and they roll and do all their things. Same as over here. But this over here is what happens whenever you have the rocky surface, like the foundation is rock, but over time your grass will grow over the top of it. We know because we know what's here. I could drive through here anytime, rain, storm, whatever, and I know how the foundation is. However, over time, with this grass continuing to grow, it's just going to have the surface is going to be green grass. So that's why I asked that question about the driveway, is wondering how will all of this look if I do in fact just go ahead and let the grass take over and let the grass have it. The rock is already there. The foundation is going nowhere. It would just all be covered in green, pretty grass. We would have to know where the rock is at and where it's not. So asking that question along with yesterday about the alpaca pasture and building that stretch of fence to give our alpaca a really beautiful paddock to live in. Those are just kind of examples of how we're playing real life Minecraft. We're just building a village, y'all. We're building this place together. And I love that. I love that. Oh, and by the way, Jamie gave it a thumbs up. There were many of you who says, Jamie's never going to go for that, Lester. She'll never go for that because of her fruit trees. Well, guess what? Alpacas don't eat fruit trees. So as long as we have the alpaca in that pasture, maybe even Carl, if he wants to run along with them, we have no worries about any fruit trees getting eaten. I don't really need to wear this hat today because it's overcast, and as a matter of fact, it's starting to sprinkle. There's a few sprinkles coming down around me. And look, I mean, you can see there. So at this point, though, I've done worn the hat most of the day, and I'm just going to keep it on. All right, in our Minecraft adventure, we're going to pick up all of these extra water hoses that are not being used. I'm about sick and tired. Okay, really, Jamie's sick and tired of seeing these water hoses just lay here. You know, last year when we had all of that sod put in, we had to water it, and it took us 300 foot of water hose to make it over that far. Well, now that the sod has all come in, we have gotten lazy and just left our water hose rolled up over here. And it no longer needs to be wrapped around that old stump. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try to take it. I may have to separate into smaller pieces. It's all, if a snake jumps out of there, I'm gonna be so mad at y'all. If a snake jumps out of there, I'm gonna be so mad at y'all. Well, the rain's really coming down now. I'm not going to curse the rain, even though I don't think we need any necessarily right now. Our pond is a little bit low. It should be right up almost to the gray rock. So it is a little bit low. But I'll tell you what, it's spring. And you know what they say, April showers brings May flowers. All right, what I'm gonna do next is use my side-by-side here and hook onto this trailer, and I'm going to back it up into the pasture. It can't sit right where it's at. I talked yesterday about eventually doing field trips with our horses, and I still want to do that, but this trailer needs to be backed up into the pasture to get the horses more used to it. Sometimes I catch myself doing dumb stuff like this. Not really for any reason, just because it makes work fun. It makes farm work a little bit funner. Funner and gooder, y'all. It makes it funner and gooder. And it saves a lot of work on my shoulders. Don't even say that was not smart. Don't even say that was not a pretty smart thing I just did. I have a quick question, and I need your honest to God answer. Whenever y'all see stuff like this, and I've told this story so many times about how this happened, and no one ever told me who did it. No one ever told me who did it. But whenever y'all see stuff like this happening, the way I use my tractor to load water hoses, unload other stuff, do y'all ever think that maybe there's someone else in this family who does the same stuff that I do? You don't think I did that? My mom has used this truck, Jamie, plenty of times, L.E. and Megan, Jake, Bree. There's been a lot of people who have borrowed this truck, and I just don't know who put the darn dent in the back of it and why they would not fess up to it. Because you know that there are people I've mentioned who have used this truck who do all the same kind of stupid stuff that I do. In saying so, who do y'all think did it?
Don't let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Lester.
Yeah, something like that.